Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever you're celebrating, happy holidays. And I hope you started your Thursday morning on a good note, whether you are still taking off from work or you are headed to work or you are at work already. Good morning. Hope your Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you were celebrating was fantastic and you spent some quality time either alone with your loved ones, whatever it was of your choosing. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning. Good day to all. Absolutely. Thank you again. Thank you for joining me. This is our AM actual news. To state up front, it's not a busy day. Obviously, folks were having a time off. Some people spent the day angrily tweeting yesterday. So we're going to dive into what means, do we have to pay attention? Probably yes. Also, some people kept bombing others, which is Russia, and bombing their own. So we're going to also talk about that jet crash that occurred yesterday over the Kazakhstan that killed Russians and Azerbaijani. It was Azerbaijan Airlines. So we're going to talk about that because investigation is ongoing and they already have results. So we will be discussing all that plus international news, national news, and all of it. But before we begin, yesterday, of course, we were off in terms of the coverage, but I premiered a video. It was a special tour, the White House tour, talking to teachers, librarians who were behind those fabulous decorations at the White House. And I hope you have seen it. If you have not seen it, this is on YouTube, and this is a tiny little preview to show what this was all about. Please take a look.
I think of this time of year, a season of peace and light. We begin with light from the stunning rotating star above the east entrance, is when you all came in. And walking in, we're embraced by the sparkling spirit of the season as light-filled greenery led us to the first Christmas tree display dedicated to our Gold Star families. And this year's Gold Star tree exhibit is constructed of 6 large stars. I think you all saw it by now, right? Representing each branch of our military. You know, the names of fallen service members are written on the Gold Star ornaments on the accompanying Christmas trees. And the display honors the heroic men and women of our country, of our nation's military, who have laid down their lives for our country. Then chiming bells call us to the East Colonnade, where bells of all sizes float above us and line every archway, filling the air with the sounds of the season. In the East Garden Room, a horse-drawn sleigh pulls us into the historic mansion. It was really cute, wasn't it?
And so I hope you have seen it. If not, this is on our YouTube. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, the previous video is literally this special Christmas tour. I recorded all the footage. I have interviewed those behind the decorations. This was done, of course, with the help of the White House team and the First Lady's team and unit. Thank you so much to them. And we talk about my menorah. We talk about all the Christmas trees, all the rooms. Why are they decorated a certain way? What's the special meaning behind it? Also, for the very first time, the First Lady opened diplomatic room. That's another round room at the White House for the tour. And it was decorated as well. We also listened to fabulous music, and then final message by First Lady Jill Biden, and the ending. I also included the portraits of some of the most recent presidents and the first ladies. So I hope you did enjoy the tour. If not, please check it out. It's just over 9 minutes. All right, it's on our YouTube. Now, as to Christmas, first family, but most importantly, President Biden had a special message that he texted to all of us yesterday morning, saying, "For the last time as your president, it's my honor to wish all of America a very Merry Christmas. My hope for our nation today and always is that we continue to seek the light of liberty and love, kindness and compassion, dignity and decency. May God bless you all." And of course, he also wished everyone who's celebrating Happy Hanukkah. He posted all over social media. And today, of course, he will be posting about Happy Kwanzaa as well. Now, the first family has participated with NORAD, helping kids track Santa, which was very cute. And then they also conducted calls, and they called all the military branches, especially units that are overseas, and thanked them for their service. And of course, thank their families also for their service. Then this photo went viral when President Biden took his granddaughter Finnegan to the movies, and then when he exited, he also stopped and talked to a homeless man, gave money, and had a conversation. And they said, "Well, Joe Biden, when no one is looking," right? And it's always important to see what people are doing when they know nobody is watching or tracking them or documenting every single move. And most importantly, also before that, President signed 50 bills into law, including bald eagle recognition and anti-hazing measures. So on Tuesday, President Joe Biden, this was very late night, signed 50 bills into law, including designating the bald eagle as the official national bird and preventing Congress members convicted of crimes from collecting pensions. Other notable laws include the first federal anti-hazing standard and a bill supported by Paris Hilton to hold youth treatment centers accountable. Biden has also taken significant actions, such as, of course, vetoing the judge expansion bill, commuting death row sentences, and pardoning his son Hunter as of recent. These moves are part of Biden's final push to complete his priorities before the transition of power to President-elect Donald Trump on January 20th. And by the way, I listed all the bills in an article on honestnetwork.com. And we are ready to transfer the newsletter and podcast. It's pretty much been transferred to the website. Your subscriptions will be transferring as well. So just to state the obvious, so now it will be all on honestnetwork.com. If you go there now, literally, you will see, and I have this here, you will see actual newsletter. You tap, there's a newsletter, there's a podcast, and there's live stream and interviews. Interviews are coming very soon. We have two types of series. So one is actual news interviews with people about leaders about the current issues. Like, for instance, an interview with the specialist on drones, who will tell us what is happening with the drones actually, who is monitoring the drones here and also handling all the drones in Ukraine. It's an Army service member here in the US who also is active in Ukraine. And so we'll have that interview, and also with former presidents of Ukraine. And we also have another series, which is called Beyond Politics, Candid Conversations with the Leaders, where we talk with politicians about anything but politics. So let's meet them on the personal level without the focused agenda, pre-prepared speeches and whatnot. Let's see who these people are, and this will be not just about the United States, but America, the world itself. So we're going to have leaders from all over the world and see what drives them. So all of that is on honestnetwork.com. If you are an annual subscriber, nothing will change. You will just receive emails from the same address, but in a bit different format, where you have to tap to read the newsletter. And then if you're a monthly subscriber, then if you're a free subscriber, nothing changes for you. If you're a monthly subscriber, then by the end of your whatever term, the month expires for you whenever you subscribe based on the date you joined, you will get a message prompted to type in your details on our website, because we're not saving anything but your email. Okay, this way we're not dependent on Substack, Peter Thiel, and all that type of stuff, and everything is in one spot. Again, live streams, podcasts, newsletters, everything is in one location. But more to that, I will guide you every day through that. So over the weekend, everything will be transferred in terms of your subscriptions. So, as to second family, Vice President Harris and Second Gentleman Emhoff stayed in Washington, D.C. They're still staying in Washington, D.C. And he posted this wonderful video dedicated to Hanukkah, especially since he's the first, officially first Jewish member of the, first, second family level. Take a look.
I thought coming into this role that being the first guy ever would be a big deal. But it really turned out being the first Jew was a big deal. And I took that as a responsibility. I feel and felt very accountable being the first Jewish person in this role. And with that accountability and responsibility meant action. The other thing that I did with your help was to live my faith, which is different from hers, but with her support, openly and proudly, joyfully, and without fear.
Well, the first family is literally now en route to Virgin Islands. They just left Joint Base Andrews. First Lady and the President are traveling to U.S. Virgin Islands for some time off. So let's wish them a happy holiday. But also, President works everywhere, right? As always, it doesn't matter where he is or where he isn't. He works 24/7. That's a job that has no days off or hours off. So let's also grant him the possibility to do so in a better condition and warmth. Right. So as to living without fear and living in fear, let's talk to the incoming administration. Trump started his day by trolling former President Obama for some reason. He posted this meme saying, when you see the guy who said you'll never be president at your inauguration. But then most importantly, he started tweeting these weird messages on Christmas saying Merry Christmas to all, including to the wonderful soldiers of China who are lovingly but illegally operating the Panama Canal, where we lost 38,000 people in its building 110 years ago, which is not necessarily true. French people lost her. Always making certain that the United States puts in billions of dollars in repair money, but we have absolutely nothing to say about anything. Also, the governor Justin Trudeau, he keeps calling him Prime Minister Governor of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are so far too high, but if Canada was to become our 51st state, their tax would be cut by more than 60%, their businesses would immediately double size and they would be militarily protected. Then he started talking Merry Christmas to the radical left lunatics who are constantly trying to obstruct our court system. So anyway, so much to Christmas. But he didn't stop there literally, about the Panama Canal. He also did appoint Miami-Dade official from Florida, obviously, who run the Panama Canal issue. He will be that special ambassador to the Panama Canal for some particular reason. Here he said that Kevin Moreno Cabrera will serve as United States ambassador to Republic of Panama. Kevin is a fierce fighter for America First Principles as Miami-Dade County Commissioner and Vice Chairman of International Trade Consortium. He has been instrumental in driving economic growth and fostering international partnerships. In God we trust. Also about Canada, he didn't stop there. He apparently met with the NHL legend Gretzky, who apparently just left Mar-a-Lago when Trump was tweeting it, saying the great one Trump said to him, Wayne, why don't you run for Prime Minister of Canada, soon to be known as Governor of Canada? Oh, this would be so much fun to watch. Well, this type of fun has a different definition for me, at least. Bonjour, Lisa. Good morning. Have I misspelled anything this past week? Have you missed? Probably, but you can catch our podcast. Thank you for reminding me. The podcast is there. It's very short, straight to the point, 20 to 25 minutes episodes. And you can catch it on any platform, including our website, honestnetwork.com. Tap, there's the podcast. Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. The actual news podcast. So there you can tap and listen to all the news from previous week and this week, of course, as well. Right? So, back to Trump. So Gretzky, all that kind of stuff. Now, the unofficial, unelected Elon Musk was tweeting that if you need school, you lost already. Somehow he has problems with people who need to go to school, which are children. This photo went viral. Bark, bark, bark. And what else? Gretzky. Yeah. So also, Rolling Stone did report that Trump is keeping tabs on all the companies who don't want to donate to his inauguration fund. So first, the Raw story said Trump's keeping tabs on which companies aren't shelling out inauguration cash. And then Rolling Stone finally said companies are scrambling to fund Trump's inauguration. He's keeping track. He's threatening to slap major tariffs on foreign goods. His decision to grant exceptions could make or break their profits, so they need to be donating. To UK, back to UK. They, of course, did celebrate Christmas, and it was a good sight to see. Happily, we saw Catherine, Princess of Wales, at Sandringham House, being closed to public. Take a look. This was a very joyous occasion.
Did you miss Charlotte? Yeah, should I give it to her when I get back home? Okay, that's so kind of you. Is this all writing? Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's really kind. Thank you very much.
Princess, could we just say something?
That is funny. Lisa says, is that an AI photo? That's the dog. Well, it's an AI photo making the dog look like Trump. So both is right. Both is right. Good morning, Rosie Mary. Good morning. Yeah, and sounds like extortion for the inauguration. Indeed. Indeed. Yes. Now, King Charles broke some rules. Well, per usual, the holidays message is to pre-recorded at a royal residence like Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace and Windsor Castle a few days before the holiday, and then broadcast at 3 p.m. on Christmas Day. Now, King Charles broke this rule by recording his message just outside inside the Fitzrovia Chapel in London. Formerly, the Chapel of Middlesex Hospital is now a space for quiet reflection, discovery, and celebration, connecting diverse communities from all faith or none. In 1928, His Majesty's grandfather, King George VI, laid the foundation stone of the building. The featured Christmas tree was donated by Croydon BME Forum and Macmillan Cancer Support's Can You See Me project, and will be placed in the Royal Trinity Hospital, Clapham, the oldest hospice in the United Kingdom. So certainly this stands for unity and unity among all religions, which was really a groundbreaking step for the royal family to embark on. As you know, they're very, very much close to tradition. Now, not everybody celebrated Christmas in a peaceful way. Russians didn't. In Ukraine, air raid alarms and explosions sounded as Russian missiles and drones targeted the nation's energy infrastructure, all on Christmas night, well, Christmas Eve, the night, Christmas Day. It is continuing up to today, which led to President Biden issuing a statement on the recent bombardments of Ukraine. So he says, in the early hours of Christmas, Russia launched waves of missiles and drones against Ukrainian cities and critical energy infrastructure. The purpose of this outrageous attack was to cut off the Ukrainian people's access to heat and electricity during winter and jeopardize the safety of its grid. Let me be clear, the Ukrainian people deserve to live in peace and safety, and the United States and the international community must continue to stand with Ukraine until it triumphs over Russia's aggression. In recent months, the United States has provided Ukraine with hundreds of air defense missiles, and more are on the way. I have directed the Department of Defense to continue its surge of weapons deliveries to Ukraine, and the United States will continue to work tirelessly to strengthen Ukraine's position in its defense against Russian forces. And so, Putin loves calling Zelensky a Nazi, but this type of Nazi met with, of course, Jewish leaders because he is celebrating Hanukkah, as many of you are. And he said, quote, today we mark, well, it was yesterday, we mark both Christmas and the beginning of Hanukkah. It is very good that in Ukraine we can celebrate such holidays with respect for each other, communicate, live together, and wish different people the same victory, the victory of light over darkness. And today, together with the rabbis of Ukraine, I lit Hanukkah candles. This particular Hanukkah menorah was presented to me by President of Argentina, Milei, during his inauguration last December. I congratulate the Jewish community on this holiday. I wish Jewish families peace, joy, and prosperous future. May the Hanukkah shine in every home, granting strength, filling hearts with new hopes and deepening faith in the power of truth and justice. And so here's the video.
That's a busy. Happy to see you. How are you?
Definitivamente когда весь мир начинает отмечать праздник Ханука, самый веселый, самый радостный праздник, потому что когда было очень тяжело и грустно, Всевышний показал чудеса.
But Russians didn't stop there. They didn't just bomb Ukraine. Let me guide you through. So yesterday morning, well, overnight, or Christmas night, we woke up to the news that the Embraer 190 passenger jet by Azerbaijani Airlines crashed in the morning, on Christmas morning. 67 passengers were on board. 32 people survived in the tail section of the plane. Now, Russian air defense most likely caused the crash. I'm just guiding you through. Then it gets confirmed. Shrapnel damage is visible on all parts of the plane that remained intact, meaning the tail. Also, the cockpit remained in tail. I'm not sure if the team, right, if the pilots have survived. This remains to be seen. Now, they said that the oxygen cylinder reportedly exploded on board their Azerbaijani Airlines plane before the crash, causing passengers to lose consciousness, according to media citing eyewitness accounts, which is complete BS. Now, take a look at the video of the tail of the plane and take a look what damage was done by something that did explode right next to it. And then I guide you as to what it was. Take a look.
Onun belə götürəndə Kamal deməli, bunun üstü belə o elə olmalıydı. Orada necədir, burada da elə olmalıydı. Niyə bu belə olur? Bu niyə belə bu qədər qırma deşiklər var? Bəli. Çöldən içəri girir.
So, as you see, this is not birds. This is not a air tank, whatever, exploding from the inside. This is a damage done from the outside. So, a video then appeared to show that Russia was shooting down Ukrainian suicide drones over Chechnya the morning when this plane was flying, when the Azeri passenger jet was flying from Baku to Grozny, which is in Chechnya. It suffered damages mid-flight and later crashed in Kazakhstan during an emergency landing. Take a look how they shot the plane. 38 people. Now, this morning, Azerbaijani government sources have exclusively confirmed to Euronews today on Thursday morning that a Russian surface-to-air missile caused the Azerbaijani Airlines plane crash in Aktau on Wednesday. Now, don't forget I do have a picture, right, of the, yes. See, the tail remained, and the authorities, of course, were investigating. Don't forget, September 1st, 1983, USSR shot down Ki-007. The Kremlin denied it, suppressed evidence, and lied, only releasing it years after the USSR fell. July 17, 2014, Russia shot down MH17. They denied to this day, depriving victims of justice. International Criminal Court declared that, yes, Russia did shoot it. So Russia hasn't changed. It won't change unless it is defeated. Negotiations, peace talks, ceasefire doesn't help when you have a murderer's neighbor. Now, remember those two ships that suffered damage, broke in half during a storm in the Kerch Strait near Crimea that spilled 4,000 to 8,000 tons of oil, right, of fuel? So Russian authorities have declared a federal emergency in Crimea and Krasnodar Krai following a major fuel oil spill in the Kerch Strait caused by two Volgoneft tankers wrecked during a storm on December 15th. Initially, experts believed the oil would remain at the bottom of the Black Sea. Have you ever put oil in water? But rising temperatures have caused it to wash ashore, affecting beaches. A local activist warned that Feodosia, a nearby town, lacks the resources and expertise to address the spill, which could harm next year's tourism. It's all about tourism. By the way, while I'm having this readout, take a look at the video. So additionally, oil-affected birds are being found, but the town lacks the necessity veterinarians and ornithologists to respond effectively. So now this is a state of emergency. As you see, the beaches are completely full of oil and fuel, and you can only guesstimate, as I'm not a professional, what did happen to the fish and birds and all that fauna, right? The flora and fauna. Now, while all that, Russian propagandist Simonyan on their national television on Christmas Day stated the following, quote, "There is nothing good about us leaving Syria. I'd be happy if we could afford to be in Ukraine, in Syria, and if called again to deal with some terrorists in Kazakhstan, and if suddenly called to Georgia, the country, to deal with those American CIA protesters and to be all over the world. I'd be happy for us to pull it all off with ease. We would have become the gendarmes of Europe, which we were for a while in the 19th century. Unfortunately, that's not the case yet. You were never protectors of Europe. Never. And those are not CIA protesters. Those are people seeking democracy in Georgia. Come, rain, shine, snow, whatever. They're standing on the street protesting anti this Georgia Dream Party that is a pro-Russian party that now diverted the direction of Georgia, the country Georgia, as to coming into EU, and instead they want to align themselves more with Russia. Now, as to Moldova, smaller country, very important for Russia. What's Russia planning in Moldova? The recent statement from SVR, Russians, seems to indicate Russia may be laying the groundwork for attacks. The recent statement published by Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, claiming that, quote, the headquarters of the European Union do not know how to calm down the emotionally unstable president of Moldova, Sandu. That's how they refer to a female leader, president of Moldova, who won in election. It highlights the Kremlin's ongoing maneuvers. According to SVR, European Union officials are reportedly frustrated by President Maya Sandu's reaction to Moldova's energy security concerns. The statement accused Sandu of planning aggressive actions against Transnistria. Transnistria is a tiny little piece of Moldova that Russians have declared independent. They have a girl, literally a girl, she's like in her 20s, as a president of that little thing, and she constantly travels to Kremlin. Why? Because it's good to have a bit of a piece of country that is really with you, so you can use them as a fundamental basis to start an invasion, for instance, if you will. So, including a potential military operation to seize control of the Moldavian state district power plant and remove Russian peacekeeping forces. While this narrative fits Russia's propaganda playbook, it may also serve as a pretext for false flag attacks, a tactic Russia has employed numerous times. Given Russia's history of orchestrating false flag operations in Ukraine, Moldova, and other regions, the potential for such an operation in Moldova is a serious concern. So, more on that is on Substack by Olga Lotman. I will tag her in this newsletter. She is a fabulous journalist who dedicates her life and work to really demasking, as she calls it, Russia. So I will tag this article in this today's newsletter. So, as to Gaza, in Gaza, 5 journalists were killed when an Israeli strike hit their vehicle, according to local officials. Again, all of that on Christmas Day. North Korea. Well, North Korean soldiers are in Ukraine and they're being killed in Ukraine. And so a North Korean Special Forces soldier deployed in Russia's Kursk region was killed by Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, SOF, who discovered his diary. And so the soldier, sent as part of a punishment under Kim Jong-un's orders, had been disguised as a local Tuvan with fake IDs, right? Tuvan is Russian, right? And this is all based on his diary that has been translated. His diary entries reveal deep loyalty to Kim Jong-un, expressing a willingness to sacrifice his life to the regime. In his final entry, he reflects on his duty to defend North Korea and the price of his happiness, ultimately fulfilling his vow of self-sacrifice. The Ukrainian SOF continues targeting North Korean SOF units in Russia. My question is, did he know where he was? He was defending North Korea in Ukraine while killing Ukrainians? Talk about brainwashed. And finally, New York City, on Christmas Day, a taxi driver in New York City suffered a medical episode, causing his vehicle to jump the sidewalk and strike pedestrians outside Macy's in Midtown Manhattan. So whenever you watch Thanksgiving parade and you see the turkey right on the top of Macy's, that's the main entrance. That's exactly what we're talking about. 7 people were injured, including a 9-year-old boy and 5 women aged 19 to 49. 3 of the victims were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The taxi sustained significant damage, though all injuries were not life-threatening. Thank goodness. That's all I have for you for today. I mentioned it's going to be a shorter one. Again, not a busy day, obviously, yesterday in terms of news, but I wanted to do my best to catch you up. We are expecting some news today. International news, but mostly State Department is closed. President Biden is going to St. Virgin Islands. VP Harris has nothing on her agenda. White House is very, dark and empty at this point. So I'm not expecting much, maybe international news. European Union still works. Again, Congress is on the break, so not much to expect unless something bad happens, which God forbid, we need to report on, but altogether, it's here. Do I have this readout? Wait a second. I had the most recent readout. Remember the cables that were damaged by Russia? The cables that did connect, yes, one thing. So the cables that did connect Estonia and Finland, right? They are damaged again. Yesterday, the cables were disconnected. The electric grid has been affected, but not much so. They could reroute the connection. Let me read out because I do have that. Where do I have that? Yes, I do have that. So, Russian Shadow Fleet vessel suspected of sabotage in Baltic Sea amid Est-Link 2 damage. And this is important because it's connected to what next President Biden will do. So this was reported that the cable is disrupted. Finnish border guard escorts tanker linked to Russia's dark fleet. And so the Eagle-class, part of Russia's Shadow Fleet, is under strong suspicion of being involved in sabotage activities in the Baltic Sea. This comes amid growing concerns over the damage of Est-Link 2 underwater electricity cable, which connects the Finnish and Estonian power grids. While the damage has not caused a power grid collapse, it has highlighted the vulnerability of Baltic region's energy infrastructure. Belarusian analyst Ihar Tushkevich predicts further risks to energy stability, particularly with the potential for future damage to the Nord-Balt cable connecting Lithuania to Sweden. The Baltic states had planned to achieve energy independence. That's what it's all about. Energy independence from Russia by 2025. That's why Russia is doing this. But disruptions in key cables could delay this goal. Additionally, reports indicate a Hong Kong flagged vessel, the Xing Xing Tang Tiang, was near the S-Link 2 cable at the time of the damage, prompting investigators into a possible deliberate attack. Now, why this matters? There are also indicators that the Biden administration may soon sanction Russia's shadow fleet in response to such activities, possibly before January 2025. So that is what we're guesstimating to get any day now. Sanctions coming from the White House against the Russia's shadow fleet, possibly also to include Russia, China, and Chinese ships as well that were part of it. All right. So, as I mentioned, the website is new. So when you tap on it, you can get connected right away to Actual News newsletter, Actual News podcast, and live streams and interviews. All subscriptions have been transferred. Now, if you are a current subscriber, yours will be transferred during this weekend. No changes. Nothing will be affecting your readership or anything. Only if you are a monthly subscriber, you will get notification to put your data again on the website because I'm not saving it. All right. HonestNetwork.com. That's where you get everything. All the previous newsletters will be transferred. It's like over what I calculated, over 170 of them from Substack to the website. So we'll see how fast this will go. But I'm very happy with our speed, right? The recent newsletters are honest.substack.com. And please check this Merry Christmas from the White House exclusive tour. I put so much time and love and effort to it. So please check it out. It's very sweet, dedicated to our First Lady, Jill Biden. And of course, tune in to the podcast. The Actual News podcast is available on all podcast platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast, as well as our website. So everything is there. Lisa says, merci. Really, I've missed you, Olga and Anna's crew. Hope you had a wonderful day. Thank you. We missed you. We hope you had some time off on Christmas. I know you worked so hard. Rosie Marie says, have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Olga. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Please expect your newsletter and your podcast today, later today. And also, I will see you tomorrow for the Actual News in the morning before we will be off for the weekend. All right. So have a great day. Thank you for being here. Please like this. If you're on YouTube or X, wherever you watch this, please like it. Please share it. Okay. Thank you. Have a fabulous day.